Good evening, everyone. What's up? Welcome. It's Thursday night. I made sure to unmute myself before I started talking, so you guys should hear me. It is a great night. It's Thursday night. Welcome to the NLG Show. We've got a great show for you tonight. It's going to be kind of a quicker one than usual because there's not a whole lot of big news going on. Let me move my camera over. I don't know what the hell is going on here. There we go. Not a lot of big gaming news, so we decided to do something a little different tonight. We got a great guest who crosses a couple of boundaries. Actually, you guys know him from the chat room as Daredevil Dave Doll, and he's here with us live. He's gonna talk wrestling. We're gonna talk some wrestling gaming. We're gonna get into his life as a indie wrestler out of Jersey. And talk some games because Dave's a gamer too. So we want to thank everybody for coming, and for those of you who are our loyal friends, our gaming brothers and sisters, we have a surprise for you. I'm gonna bring it up. I've got to empty it first. Hold on. We do have tonight. Hold on. Let me get rid of the. There we go. The Wheel of Names. Why do we have the Wheel of Names? We'll tell you in a few minutes, but I'm going to start putting chat names into the wheel, and we'll tell you all about that in a little bit. There's the first one, back from the dead ones. Anyway, I'm going to introduce him and say hello to him, and then we'll go through the rest of the crew. Dave, welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me. Been wanting to do this since I came on to the chat room when Mike was on.
Yes.
Who didn't mention it at all, except for when you guys pointed it out.
Well, this is cool because you have you came aboard when we interviewed Mike Herman from Retrosoft Studios, and thought it was great. Your persona immediately made us laugh, and it was great. So I know John. Yes, I know John has gotten smitten with you. So
oh yeah, Dave's awesome. It was like love at first match. I mean, I was like, man, this guy's my new tag team partner. I love it.
Did you give him a ring pop? Give him a ring.
Oh, I've got a bunch of ring pops. Peter and I are dual wielding tonight. We both are carrying ring pops, aren't we, Peter?
Yes.
Yeah, there's Peter's ring pop, and here's mine.
His ring pop.
Because if it isn't a ring pop, there's no ring.
Yeah.
That's right.
So tell them. So for those of you who are in the chat room, and you have to be active in the chat room just like we did before, Dave tonight is going to be giving away a copy of the upcoming Retromania wrestling game. So that you're not in. That you're not in.
No,
I
Yet.
know. Yet. That's right. That's right. Yet.
Maybe. There's still a chance.
There is.
DLC is a wonderful thing.
It is, especially that free DLC.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it would be a day one type DLC because that'd be cool. Because then I could still say I was at launch.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I'm making the gang over there.
No, they're good sports, and you were a good sport about it too. We were rooting for you, though, man. We really were. I was like, I actually to a point to where, like, I knew that you knew it was a very long shot, but I was still like disappointed when the last couple of people were. No offense to them, and to be honest, I don't know who they are, but then the last two guys were announced. Yeah, when they were announced, I'm like, why isn't it Dave? He's fought so hard. They did a poll, and you won the poll.
I
And
know. He's
still-
won everything.
I know.
It took the wind out of my sails. I know that.
No, I mean, there was never agreement that would be on. I legitimately was eliminated in the first round of Indie Mania, which was that tournament that he did to get an indie guy into the game that Warhorse wound up winning. But, like, I just took it upon myself to try to do something different to make it fun to promote the game because I just believe in what Mike and them are doing. It's not like doing it to be malicious or anything like that. I'm literally just taking the persona you see in my matches and using it on Twitter to promote what they have going. I just put out some tweets earlier, like right before we got on, because they're like, somebody asked them, what's the list of people that you have for DLC? So I was like, the only person they need is me. Like, and then they retweeted it. It was like, they retweeted that guy's tweet. It was like, Dave Doll. I'm like, see, finally admit I'm the only one you need.
Right.
It's just simple things like that. It's just fun, and they know it. Like, I talk to Mike once every so often, just like check in with him, see how he's doing, and be like, hey, if I say anything, just tell me that you don't like it, and I'll take it down. Or, I try to watch my boundaries, but there really isn't any. So.
Well, and let's be honest, and we like him too. I mean, we're fans. We're Retromania wrestling fans. I can't wait for the game to come out. Hopefully, it's still coming out in July. But I can't imagine that he didn't like the attention because you tagged him all the time.
Oh well, it's not really him per se running.
Right. I think he's running the Twitter though. I think he's running the Twitter.
Is it him or one of his kids?
It's
Could be him or his kids, right?
It's actually some other dude because I've talked to him privately.
Really?
Oh.
The guy who runs it,
Okay.
yeah. When Indie Mania was going on, but like my thing is when I had my Indie Mania match, I did basically the same thing I do now for that, and was just like, I pretended like it was an actual match, and I was actually at my real life job, as I call it, on my phone all day, getting yelled at by my boss to get off my phone because I was putting out a tweet like every 5 minutes, like go vote for me, go vote for me, like until voting was up. I mean, I by a landslide, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Right.
Well, it's great to have you, and I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you take it in good spirits, and we're gonna get into your life as an indie wrestler a little bit, and your real life too, because I think what you do is really good. So we're gonna get into that a little bit, and I got some footage to show. So while we're talking, but. Infinite says, wait, is this Retro Renegades? No. So anyway, Invader Gaming. What's up, brother?
It could be sometimes. We got our moments.
We do have our moments.
But real quick, I was gonna say that it's cool that Dave, that like you said, you're having fun with this whole deal. Trying to get you in the game, but at the same time, you're promoting the game and you're having fun with it. So it's cool.
Other games coming out.
Yeah, and yeah, I see that you also, yeah, other wrestling games too. But we enjoyed going along with you, and we're rooting for you. So hopefully on the
Absolutely.
DLC. Yeah.
Iron Lords. Lord Cognito is in the chat room. Salute. Salute, my lord. It's always good to see. Always good to see our brothers from the gaming realm of the Iron Lords. They're so awesome. God, man, love. They are my Sunday afternoon. I'm cleaning the
Yeah.
house. I'm not just leave me alone. I'm listening to the Iron Lords. And last week was awesome. And I had them up on my 75-inch screen. So I was down here, fixing the downstairs. I'm like, you know what? I've got YouTube. I've got YouTube on my TV. I'm turning them on, and there they are. So now, great. It was awesome. And of course, to see Lord Sovereign on camera finally. So
Yeah.
that was so really nice. And I'm adding your name too. I know you're Lord Cognito. So for those who are just joining us, we have the Wheel of Names. We are going to be courtesy of Daredevil Dave Doll. He is going to be giving away a copy of Retromania Wrestling tonight to one lucky fan in the chat. So anyway, yeah,
Console of their choice.
Console of your choice.
Ooh,
so.
Daredevil Dave Doll.
Console of choice, but not X, Y, and Z.
But not what?
X, Y, and Z.
Oh, but not X, Y, and Z. So.
John's going to be the commentator when Daredevil Dave Doll comes out.
I'd love it.
Woo! Well, he's going to be he's either going to be
the Ric Flair thing. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, you get to interact with John tonight, Dave.
That's right. Dave's my buddy, man. He cracks me up, man. I've been rooting for him too. I mean, really, all of a sudden, Dave and I met. I'm telling you what, it was like fireworks. Dave's trying to get in the wrestling game, and then all of a sudden, I find myself on the weekend. I've tweeted like 100 times. I thought, what am I doing? Yeah.
Oh man.
It's contagious, man. But it's in a positive way. That's why I like
Absolutely.
Dave. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. So, and by the way, I also wanted to, since Invader's in the room, also want to give a really, really huge shout out to TXR. What a gangbusters their comeback has been, man. It is so hard. I only have a couple of shows that I can listen to now, and like my Sundays are set. Got Iron Lords in the afternoon, and I got TXR at night. And I got to sneak it sometimes, so I'm not as active in the chat, because Sunday night is also 90 Day Fiancé, and that's my wife. My wife and I, that's what we watch to make us feel better about our lives. So,
drink wine, paint your nails too.
Oh, come on. Have you ever seen that show? It is freaking hilarious. Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Like the guy who would watch that?
Some of the stupidest people are on that show. Makes us feel better about our lives. Trust me, man. You need to try it.
Your mental thinking.
But anyway, so I want to introduce the rest of the crew. To my left. Yes, to my left. I do this every week and can't figure it out. You're right. He is in the game. He's the only one who's really figured out how to put a background in this picture.
Yeah.
He is HTK, Peter Hutake. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys? It's Thursday. We're still doing all right, I see.
I still see that. We are. We're still doing all right.
HTK's in the podcast.
Right.
Podcast.
There you go. He's in the show.
He's in the show.
HTK is in the game.
Sipping at a Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Nice.
What else can go wrong?
Right. What
We
you
got
been up
Dave
to?
in the house, so it's fantastic.
Yeah. What you up to?
What I've been playing is pretty much
Let me guess.
SnowRunner.
SnowRunner. I have not seen you hooked on a game like this in a long time.
Yeah, this game is a lot of fun.
Wow. Okay.
But it has some bugs, especially a co-op. Like
Crazy One found that
a
out.
good friend, Crazy One. He was with me in a co-op version, and all of a sudden I went like, The game went to shit, and he lost his save file, and he's back to square one.
Oh no! Oh no!
So, but he lost the game too, so he's started back up. But hopefully they fix the co-op soon, so I can help him out, and so we get him back to the level where he was, because he was like just a little bit ahead of me, and that was always good to in co-op it's a lot of fun.
Oh wow! Well, that's good. I have not played it yet. I've not played it yet.
It's good.
It's hard to plop. I'm sorry. It's hard to plop down that kind of money when you have Game Pass.
True. It's on sale though. It's 10% off, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's it depends. Some people love these type of games. Other ones they do not. I mean, you've played Mud Runner, right?
No.
Because if you love Mud Runner, you love Snow Runner even more.
Okay.
Mud Runner used to be in Game Pass. I don't think it is. It still?
I don't know.
No, not anymore.
I don't know. Crispy said Mud Runner is a tough game.
Yeah, it can be tough, but it's a lot of fun, especially in co-op. And one guy flips and the other one is helping out, and
that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
the ultimate driving simulator. All right.
So,
and that's it?
Yeah,
that's all you've been playing?
I've played a tiny, maybe was it once or twice Sea of Thieves. It was okay. The first time was good. The second time is like, you have those people that cheat and other stuff, that all of a sudden appear on your ship without like either jumping in and other stuff. It's like, okay, whatever.
Mud Runner is, by the way, Mud Runner is in Game Pass still.
Okay. Well, then you get your feet wet. If you absolutely hate that one, then don't get Snow Runner.
Okay.
Like that one.
I got a friend who got all into DayZ, so he invited me into his DayZ server. I got to try that out.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
I'll let you know.
Nate was talking about it. He says, like, oh, we should try it out. So I'm curious.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, that's pretty much it, gaming-wise.
It's okay. It's okay. You could be a one-game player. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I like to play a lot of different games, but once you get hooked, it's kind of hard to do something else.
True.
Wait a second. I fired up Mafia 3. And
you were telling... Yeah, the definitive edition?
Yeah. Well, I don't think they did anything to the game except giving you the free DLC, I think. But that game does not hold up. It looks like crap.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It's so fuzzy. It's like, man, I need new glasses. But I've seen some footage for Mafia 2, the remaster. That looks nice and crisp.
Right.
So we need a Mafia 3 remaster.
Well,
but who knows? Maybe I got spoiled because I also saw The Last of Us 2, some video, and it's like, I'm waiting for a remaster too.
Wow.
It looked dated.
Oof. Well, it was designed for the PS4.
Yeah.
It was not designed for the PS5. It was designed for the PS4. They said that outright.
They did.
I did see that gameplay you were talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked good overall, just the environment and everything. But there was that one scene where I guess Ellie and her partner came together, and that part did look a little, old school PS4. But overall, I thought it looked great.
God, how long have we gone to where we're calling it old school PS4?
OG PS4.
OG PS4. Hey.
But I mean, the games on PS4, even the base PS4, still look great.
They do.
I mean, they have some games that look really good. The Last of Us
2,
2, I was like disappointed.
Ghost of Tsushima is going to be hot.
That looks good. I hope they have a little bit more to do in the world, or to see, I should say. There'll be plenty to do, but it looks a little lifeless, except vegetation. But, we're not having a salad bar simulation, going on.
Wow. I think we got Salty Peter tonight.
No, not salty. I'm just.
What are you drinking?
I'm just spoiled. There's Sam Adams. No, this is.
He's got his salad. He just doesn't have the croutons he wants on top.
Exactly. I need croutons.
And the dressing,
Okay.
the right dressing.
Yeah.
The right dressing.
Just all vinegar.
A little bit of bacon bits and
Oh,
sunflower
vinegar.
seeds. Yeah.
All vinegar. Okay. So, moving on.
Oh, there you have it. All right. Thanks for watching.
God, now I'm hungry.
There we go. There we go.
No food.
Oh, man. So, occupying the center square, as always, he is the positive gamer of the group. He is the man with the epic beard. He doesn't care what you play on, as long as you play.
And I'm frozen.
And he's frozen on screen
Right.
again.
And I was just giving everybody the finger, and nobody.
See, now we can make funny faces at him while he's frozen.
Well, no, he can still. Well, I don't know. Maybe he can't see us still. Oh,
Yeah,
well, he can still.
Ben.
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, man?
What's going on? ¿Qué pasa, y'all gamers?
¿Qué pasa?
Been a long week. So got to go in tomorrow, unfortunately. But no, it's been good. Been a good week. It's been busy. I didn't get back to my wonderful game that I'm going to talk about later.
Oh yes.
Played a lot of that over the weekend. Journey to the Savage Planet. So that's been my game all weekend. So I'll be back to that.
Okay.
But other than that, it's been good. But like you said, it has been a slow week. I'm surprised that, after we got several, we got IGN, we got Keeley and his deal for the summer. But yet, you would think that we would get some nice tidbits every week, at least drop I'm surprised. We really didn't get nothing this week. Unless, something comes tomorrow or whatever, but, it is
Dazzy,
what it
baby.
is.
Dazzy's in the chat.
Hey, Daz.
Hey, Daz.
Dazzy.
But, shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Dreadpool, I saw him. He's been making his rounds. I saw him last night.
We're gonna have him on. We're gonna have him on June 11th.
Yeah.
We got him.
Yeah.
I got him in there.
Crispy Bomb from Retro Renegades. He's been making his rounds everywhere.
Yep. Our brothers
Back
over
from
at
the
Retro
dead.
Renegades. Yeah.
Yeah. Infinite. And Mr. Super Pooper.
Yeah. And
Why
Nate.
you got to do that? And Nate. Oh, and Nate.
Natty Poo.
And Nate.
And of course we saw Lord Cognito.
Yes, we
Definitely
did.
Like you were saying, that's my morning show. Especially when I'm doing chores. I was listening to them while I was doing dishes. So definitely, they entertain me when I do the dishes.
I love them. Love them.
Yes.
So many good shows.
And then of course Invader and TXR.
Yep.
So yeah, appreciate everybody.
Absolutely.
Like Jay, Graphic God says, support and be supported. So
Absolutely. So.
appreciate everybody.
Yep.
And plus, hey, yesterday. Well, no. Well, was it Monday? No, it was yesterday. You on Open Every Box for the Amico
Yep.
podcast.
I was gonna.
That
Yep.
was a good one. Yeah.
That was, and I'll tell you about a couple of
That's
great
where I
guys
said
met.
hi, Stinger, and Stinger never answered that one.
I did.
That show?
Mm.
I
Oh.
did. I did, and then I shouted you out like on the show.
I was probably
He did,
playing some
You were
Snow
probably
Runner.
playing some snow runners. So I saw you because I said, "Hey, half the crew is here." I said, "Chris is here, Peter's here, John's here." Of course, I did. So speaking of John,
and also
oh, good.
glad
good,
to
Chris.
see Daz. I'm sorry to see Daz here.
Yeah,
Good
glad
to see him
Daz.
get better little by little. So
Yeah, man. Good to see he was in great spirits right when he got home too. His first video was hilarious. So.
an indie gamer too. Sorry, brother.
Yep. Oh yeah, indie gamer. So I just love, man. So
He puts some great videos out. He brings
He
awareness to those indies. So
yeah, he does. I keep trying to recruit him. So, all right. So next up, we got the spicy one, Daredevil Dave Doll's new tag team partner.
That's right.
He is the master. He is the master of the ring pop. That's his, Dave. That's his finishing move. The ring pop. That's his finishing move.
Scared to know what
Yeah, ring pop, boy.
his Macho Man impression.
Oh my
You guys
God.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it. You gotta hit it.
Yes. If you're gonna do it, you do it right, man.
That's right.
Oh my God. So anyway, Sean, how you doing, brother?
Oh man, it's good to be on here, guys. As always, thank you for everybody in the chat, man. We really appreciate your support. Got my buddy Dave Doll in here tonight. Chris, Peter, Mike, love you guys. It's been kind of a weird week, man. I've been anticipating the Memorial Day weekend, so I'm looking forward to an extra long weekend. But I played a couple indie games. I actually got a couple platinums this week. I played a game called Deep Space Rush and Bird Game Plus, and they're just smaller little indie games. But I like supporting indie titles all the time, so I often buy those. And I'm kind of a trophy or an achievement hunter as well, so they also make great games for those reasons as well. And tonight I'm wearing my Pac-Man shirt because it is the 40th anniversary tomorrow of Pac-Man.
Wow.
And Toru Iwatani, the creator of Pac-Man, he's a really great guy. And I was doing some reading about the history of Pac-Man and how he came up with the power pellets and the waka 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 and everything. So it was pretty interesting. So this is Ode to Pac-Man tonight. Other than that, I've been playing my MLB The Show, of course. I'm level 81. I need 19 more levels to get the platinum. I've been playing grid motorsport racing. The only problem with, I may have to give up on the platinum. I'm one trophy away, but the last trophy is requiring me to drive 24,901 miles. So that's the circumference around the Earth. So I've been driving and driving. I don't know how many hours I got in the game. I thought I was doing real good. And I looked at my total mileage on the screen and it only showed like 8,000. And I'm like, God dang. So I've got to go 16,000 more miles, almost twice as much as I've already driven. And what's funny is I've already completed the campaign. I've done all the races. The only thing I could do is clear everything back out. And you have an option to reset your races. But I don't want to have to go through all that again. So I'm a little disappointed in the fact that they've got a trophy like that, because it's one of those games where having a trophy like that just kind of runs the game. It's like it has nothing to do with the game. It doesn't add to it. It doesn't even make sense. Why do I have to drive around the world? I mean, it's totally different. Most racing games, like Forza, GT Sport or Gran Turismo, it's pretty much you beat this race series, you get a trophy or achievement, you go on to the next. And then there's some other things like driving around a track and going so many miles per hour. All those things are like obtainable and they make sense, but driving around the circumference of the Earth, I mean, it's just, so I've been on Reddit and some of the websites and different things, and people are really complaining about that. So I hate giving up on a game, but I don't know if it's worth it just to get that last trophy. I mean, there's nothing left to do. I've got the 3 DLCs for it, so I'm kind of in a dilemma with it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You got to get that MLB trophy first.
Oh, yeah, I got to get that. I'm more concerned about that. That's more obtainable, yeah.
You should be getting close, right?
19, I got 19 levels. The only problem is it's like Peter loves Snow Runner. Well, MLB The Show is like my Snow Runner. I can't quit playing MLB The Show. So I think about that game day and night. I love the sport of baseball, so it's real hard to pull away from that game. I mean, I've got all these other games I want to play, but I keep hearing like the baseball gods call my name, and they're like, play the show. So I can't ever get away from it. So even after I get the platinum, I'll still be playing it because there's so much to do in that game.
Dad says it's not worth it. He's at that point too. So.
Oh, is he doing grid?
Yeah, he said that Chivo is ridiculous.
Yeah, Daz, I agree with you, man. We've all played games, like that, where they put in like an achievement or trophy, and you're thinking, what the heck were they drinking? Or, it's like,
Right.
why would they do something like that?
Because they can.
Yeah, right.
Oh. All right. Well, Frankie's not here tonight. He unfortunately had an accident at work, and hoping he's okay. Nothing serious, but he unfortunately is not gonna make it tonight. So that's why we got Dave covering the last spot for us tonight. Before we get to talking to Dave, and Dave, see if you can. I don't know if you're able to. If you can bring up your microphone a little bit. I think it might be just because you might be far away.
It's actually on my headphones, so I'm not sure.
Aha.
I can switch to my tablet, but it's up to you guys.
Give it a try. It's just it sounds a little faint, and I want to make sure people can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Get the earphones, boy.
Sofsky in the chat. What's up, Sofsky?
While he's doing that, for those who have just joined, we have tonight the Wheel of Names, and we've got everybody so far that's in the chat room in the Wheel of Names. Dave is giving away a copy of Retromania Wrestling tonight on console of your choice. So later on tonight, we're gonna spin the wheel. And if you win, there's most of you I know on Twitter, but Back from the Dead 1, we might have to hunt you down if you win. So, but that's coming up later.
We can talk that way.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So, John, before we move on to talking about Dave's lovely career and stuff like that, and then get into our segments, what is... Huh?
Holy crap. I said I have a career?
Well, you got a couple. So, Johnny Ringpop, what is...
Yes, they're right.
Spicy John
Johnny
Place,
Ringpop.
what is the product of the week?
Tonight's product of the week is Lucky Charms. They're magically delicious.
Catch Lucky! He's got Lucky Charms! They're magically delicious!
Always have to be Lucky Charms, the crunchy old cereal with a rainbow of marshmallow surprises. Pink hearts, yellow moons, orange stars, green clovers, and blue diamonds. Part of this good nutritious breakfast. Oh, they're coming. I'll make a snowmobile and zoom away.
Frosted Lucky Charms!
They're magically delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Lucky Charms. That is a commercial you could not do today. I'm just saying. There would be somebody that would go, "You are offending me,"
Right.
with a leprechaun on the screen.
Right. You didn't have enough charms in the cereal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, Born Distracted. Born's in the chat. What's up, brother? Let me get him added to the Wheel of Names. It would be funny if he won twice in a row.
All right. Speaking of being hard to find,
we got him though. So Daz says, "What the That's right. Daz hasn't been in the chat room at all. He hasn't watched the show in a while. He's not familiar with the product of the week. So, and of course, our brother Pete. Pete. So,
what's up, babe?
Yeah, let me just shout out real quick. So, as Chris alluded to earlier, Open Every Box Pete does just an awesome retro gaming channel that is very heavy, not just with regular retro stuff, but a fellow in television Amico bro, and he just does some. I tell you what. Whatever he's doing to produce his videos is top notch because I love his production quality. But he put together a Wednesday night podcast called Amico All Access, where he has folks on every week that we talk Amico, and so far I'm able to do the show with him. So I've been on a couple of times, and it's just such fun, and a lot of people came to check it out. Tommy Tallarico, of course, is in the chat, dropping bombs on us and trolling as he does. But I met some incredibly cool guys through Pete. So guys like the Atari Creep, Mad Max the Mandalorian, and Generational Gamer, J Prime. And these guys are just really cool dudes. Super Jeremy World. I shouted a couple of people of them out on Twitter, but if you guys get a chance to go to Pete's channel, just look for Open Every Box Pete. He is amazing. And I just want to tell him thank you. Thank you, Pete, for letting me be part of your Amico podcast. You guys, everybody knows how really heavy into the Amico that I am and excited for it. And so to be able to jump on and talk about it where I don't have to bore everyone here. Jago got suspended on Twitter? What the hell did you do?
Yep. He was talking shit about Ellie. He broke up with Ellie. And so she banned his ass.
Oh my God. Jago.
Cena.
Jago.
Huh?
Oh my goodness.
He literally followed by John Cena today.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know. He just got followed by John Cena and then he got suspended. Oh my God.
I'm followed by John Cena.
Dave said he got followed by John Cena too.
Speaking of cereal, there's Fruity Pebbles. He just got Fruity Pebbles to follow him, yeah.
Oh, my God. All right, so Dave,
Can you hear me okay?
Huh?
Can you hear me okay?
That's better.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. Yeah. And Skype has this weird thing to where if people are talking and somebody else says something, it cuts them off. So we're going to try to let you get some, we'll stand down a little bit, let you talk a little bit. I'm gonna put up. So I got video of you, and I got the right one. Tell us all about your life as a let's say a semi-pro wrestler, right? Indie is semi-pro. I mean, it's
actually pro. You're considered pro. But
so you're considered pro. That's awesome.
So it's like if you get signed to AAA baseball, you're still pro.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is basically what this is. Because then you go to NXT, then WWE or whatever. You build your way up. So this is either like collegiate AAA-ish style wrestling, as you want to put it. As you can tell, it's not all glitz and glamour, lights and fireworks and stuff. This is inside a place that has like basketball courts and a turf field and a gym and all that, right in Glassboro, New Jersey. So it's a nice little setup, though. We do pretty well for ourselves.
There you are.
There he is. Look at that, the swagger. Yeah.
Wearing my House Sports Gear sponsored tracksuit, which is the flag right here. They actually do sponsor me. It's not like that's not gimmick, as most people think.
Who's that guy behind you, Dave? He looks like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto.
So this particular promotion, me and this guy are called the War Devils, and I never let the announcer speak or announce me. I always announce myself.
Oh.
And so he's my partner.
Oh, no. You cheater. You bastard.
Hold on. Hold on. I got to turn you up. Hold on, I'll share. Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, dude, my goodness.
I'm terrible. I actually grew up a town over from Glassboro, so I know them very well.
Wow. So tell us, how did you get into this? How did you get involved in this? How does one get into the indie circuit to then get to NXT and WWE?
So the guy that's actually the announcer here, when I first started, I had messaged on Facebook, I believe, and he was an announcer for Combat Zone Wrestling. And I was going to go there to their school, but he suggested a different one, so I wound up going to that school. It's just basically finding a wrestling school and going. For me, though, like I joined amateur wrestling when I was 8, thinking it was this. So 12 years later, come back full circle, and then I'm just starting to do that. So I started doing this in 2011.
And so what's this promotion?
So this is Dangerous Adrenaline Wrestling Gladiators, also known as DOG, and they run events, not shows. And if you call it a show, I get yelled at every time by the promoter. So I usually do it on purpose. But yeah, this is probably my home promotion. I've been working for them since 2012. It was the first time I think they legitimately booked me for something, and I was a manager to a guy doing like some Asian karate nunchuck gimmick, and then he like sacrificed me at the end of the match to get murdered by the guy he was facing because I was, sacrificial, and I had one of those little like Raiden hats on.
Oh my god!
And like I'm whiter than white, so it's even worse. I'm 75% Irish, or like there's no Asian me passing me off being Asian. Like no way.
You know what I love about this too is the last time I saw anything that wasn't WWE or back in the day I was a WCW guy. Was at a game show last year called Too Many Games. That's in Erie, Pennsylvania, or not Erie. It's near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I forgot the exact name, and they had some indie promotion there doing this stuff, and I find that it when you're it looks like you're having fun, right? And it's less business and it's more I'm doing this because I'm enjoying it. I mean, you have a full-time job, right?
Yeah. Most wrestlers on the indies do have full-time jobs and, have to rely on them to, for travel costs and stuff like that. Because there's sometimes I go to shows and I may not sell a T-shirt or a picture or anything, and then my pay to go out there is just my gas and toll money. So really, I'm not getting paid to wrestle. I'm basically getting paid to get there and get home. So like you're really just breaking even. You have to really love it.
Oh, he's gonna hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, I thought you were going to chop. I thought you were going to give him the chop. I was getting ready to go. I was getting ready to Ric Flair. So.
I literally don't like chops, so I try not to throw them in my match. So if I throw one, usually that means I'm actually legitimately mad and you messed up, because that's the only way you can actually haul off on somebody and then not think you're sniffing them. So then you won't get a receipt later. It is a blast. A lot of shows I'll do are for charity too. So you're giving back. And I said this on a Can Crusher podcast. That was just an audio podcast. When you're doing this, one of these people in the crowd could have had a loss in the family or lost their job or something. And we don't know that as the performers, but when we're going out there, we're providing a service to let them forget about all the BS they have going on. And they get to have fun and get immersed and boo me or cheer him. And as long as they're in that, then I feel complete and my job's done. Because for those 2.5, 3 hours plus intermission, they're happy and not thinking about anything else but what they're there to see. And it's a real pleasure to be able to do that. Big slam.
Yeah. Nice. So I know you. So you play a persona on Twitter and in our chat room, and I love it. And we really do. Oh, nice elbow. See, I was watching the other match that I know you didn't want me to show, and I was impressed with what with what you did there. I mean, I hadn't seen this. This is how long did you do the school? How long did you go to wrestling school?
So wrestling school can be anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, or longer. It really depends on when your trainers feel you're ready. I kind of had a different story because of some other stuff, so I kind of left and found my own way to start doing shows. And because I impressed people while I was training and doing security and being a plant, as we call them, like somebody that gets picked out of the crowd, they get beat up or whatever, I was able to make connections to actually get onto shows. And then I just started building from there. It's been a long process. Like, I didn't get a sponsorship until beginning of last year, and that was just me hitting up somebody like, hey, I got 2 of your singlets. Like, they're awesome, probably the best ones I've ever worn. How would you feel about sponsoring me? And they're like, hey, send us your stuff. And then we've been rocking and rolling from there. We're actually working on something right now for their website that's going to be like kind of like my own brand of combat sports gear, which is kind of cool. So like it'll have my logos designed by them and stuff. Hopefully original ones, not like ones that I already have, because I wanted to keep it kind of separate from what I already do. Because like these logos, the skull and the one that's on my flag back here is already on Pro Wrestling Tees. So I don't want to make them compete against each other so that everybody kind of makes money, you know?
I hear you. No, that's great. That's great. So
I'm such an a-hole in the ring.
so you are by nature in your persona, you're a heel. So
yeah, almost everywhere.
Okay.
If I'm a face, it's either my first time in the promotion or I've been there way too long. Or the other person just sucks and people like me more. It depends.
Now, Dave, let me ask you a question. Out of the people you're currently wrestling, do you have like an arch enemy?
Well, I do and I don't. We like to mess with each other a lot. Like, we're buddies, but we like to mess with each other a lot. So there's a guy that goes by the name King Blackie, which in some promotion he's not allowed to use that name because people deem it racist. But he is black, so it's okay. He has a title in the company, and it's actually the one that did.
Nice belly to back. Oh wow, man, that's dude. I haven't seen this before. I am impressed. Sorry, go ahead.
So the show you went to was called probably Delco Mania.
Could be.
And they were hooked up with ACPW because they were supposed to do it again this year in April, and because I was already booked because they were going to book me on it. But they have a U.S. champion, and that's King Blackie, and I faced him in Dojo Wars for his title a couple times. So we have like this little random Twitter feud or like Facebook feud where we just talk shit to each other and get everybody to laugh and have fun. And it's like me, him, and one other dude that do it because we don't care. We're stupid, and we just type whatever we think in our heads, and people enjoy it. It's the same thing I do on Twitter. Like the whole Twitterverse thing, I don't know where that came from. I just kind of started doing it recently. But it works for me, so.
It does.
Oh, no.
And you take good bumps, too. This Thai guy's not horrible.
He's actually super new. So, like, that German suplex that I did,
yeah,
that was his first time ever taking a German suplex.
Nice.
Because I told him I had came up with a backup plan just in case he felt uncomfortable with it.
Uh-oh.
And
oh, nice. Ooh. Nice.
No.
Nice.
Came up with a backup plan just in case.
Wait, what's Tom Green doing up on the ring?
It does look like Tom Green.
Yeah, it does.
What's up, Jesse Darby?
Yeah, Jesse. So I added them to the wheel. So no, this. Oh, come on, get it, Dave. He's gonna a little weak. All right, you're gonna have to
Jeremy.
Ty. You're gonna have to work Ty. Oh,
Ron Jeremy.
All right, you got to work Ty out on those elbows though. You have to teach him a little bit about those.
Nate said that he's got a friend, local ref in Cincinnati, does attorneys over, wrestling attorneys.
Nice.
Nice. Well, I'm sorry you didn't win the match, but you look. I'm seriously. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I like that. That was good stuff.
That's cool. Yeah.
I usually don't win. I couldn't tell you the last time I won a match. But the thing is like I'm so hated. I don't need to win.
True.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but
People.
But someone you hate that much, you got to put a strap on them for a little bit.
Right.
Then you have somebody chase you have somebody for the face to chase after.
But right now he has this title. So he has 2 champions of the company. One's interim, one's the actual. And then he has a secondary title that's like kind of like how the NWA title was when they had a whole bunch of territories that it would travel to, but no one really travels with it. It's weird. It's called like the Worldwide Grand Prix Championship or something.
Mm-hmm.
He had that on a heel already, and then the tag team titles on a team that were heel, but the one dude comes up and dances to like Fireball because he's just a goofball and has a glass eye, real, wears an eye patch and his name's Patch. Awesome dude, he's hilarious. But the other guy just looks at him like, what the hell are you doing? We're bad guys. But now like they're kind of in the middle. Like they can kind of do the Stone Cold thing where he can kind of like do something that's kind of cheapy and no one really cares. They cheer it. So like, there's no room for me to have the title. And the thing is like, titles don't make the person. The person makes the titles.
No, absolutely.
So if you're relying on the championship to make you, well, then you're a moron. And you're supposed to make the title.
I can understand that. I've
had one title, and it's only because I was the booker of the company, and I had no other choice to put it on me. Because everybody I wanted to put on either was hurt, got hurt, or just couldn't be there. I'm like, oh, you guys are killing me. So, like, winning belts is not what I'm worried about. I'm out there to put on a great show, entertain everybody, give them his money's worth. As a heel, I make more money at my merch stand than I do as a face. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's also rare.
Oh, man, Jago, I'm so sorry, man. I know while I'm talking, I've been watching Jago and his. You know, he's too good a guy to get suspended on Twitter. I'm upset.
Jago, you might win a copy of Retromania though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. So for those of you who just joined, I have the Wheel of Names going. Oops, that's not the Wheel of Names. That's the Wheel of Names. I got the Wheel of Names going. I got everybody's name in there so far. You have an opportunity to win a copy of Retromania Wrestling, courtesy of Daredevil Dave Doll. And hopefully, Jago, your name comes up. If it does, I'll hit you up. Go hang out with your wife and just grab some alcohol, and I'll catch up with you. I'll catch up with you later, my brother. So we love you, Jago.
Everything
seriously.
Works out soon.
Yeah, we love you, man. You're
it's
good.
kind of BS.
Yeah, that is BS. So I know you're
getting. I guess on Twitter, I guess it can happen anywhere, but for a copyright strike for music in the background, but
it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I think that is ridiculous that companies do that shit. Because if he's not making money, he's not trying to make money on Twitter.
Right.
Then why do you get a copyright strike? It's stupid.
Jago is too good a guy for that. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. So.
Well, speaking of, it reminds me that I like that Jib Jab app where you insert yourself, and it to music and songs and stuff. But the whole thing about it is I can post that on Twitter, but you go to Facebook and almost every song is copyrighted. So you go to make a video, even if you pay, and I pay for the Jib Jab every once in a while, like $2 or $3 a month. And I mean, I feel like if I'm paying for the service and it's designed to put you inside a music video for just fun and games, why can't I use that on Facebook? It just blows my mind that they copyright something like that is so minuscule.
Then on the other hand, they should use royalty-free music or something.
Right.
It's one of the
Don't worry, Jago. We'll find a way.
We'll find you, Jago.
You're not gonna win, but we'll find a way. Don't worry about it. No.
I'm putting it up there. Free Jago.
Love you, brother.
Yeah, we love you, man. Free Jago.
Right. Jago, come back.
Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So, all right. So, well, we don't. So, actually, honestly, Infinite, we don't need Streamlabs because to get Streamlabs integrated. I worked with Jay the other day. I think we got something else in mind. He might be going back to OBS like we're using here because I was able to help him out. So Dave, so we are a gaming show, and you are a gamer too. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you like, what you play? What's what did Daredevil Dave Doll grow up playing? Give us your gaming history.
So obviously, wrestling video games are huge for me. I buy them every year. This year's WWE game was a complete and utter disappointment. But what they're doing with Battlegrounds coming out actually kind of looks fun, especially after playing NBA Playgrounds.
Yeah.
So they look, a lot of fun with that. And there's an alligator that might eat John Cena, which is kind of fun.
Yes, that does look kind of fun.
The Rock throws him towards an alligator. I'm like, yes, eat him. Then we definitely can't see him. But no, like Retromania is going to be super fun. I play Fire Pro. I have Final Fantasy VII Remake I need to get back into. John talked me into MLB The Show.
There you go.
We still need to play, Dave. Look, one evening with me, buddy, and I'll have you firing on all cylinders, man.
That
didn't sound good, did it?
Just
without ring pop.
That could have come out. That could have come out
I'm
differently.
talking about the baseball game, Dirty Minds.
Oh my God!
I just got delivered yesterday Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, and I know everybody hates it. It's like they tried to push it. Well, okay. First off, they do capture some of the nostalgia of playing like the older games, not the undergrounds. Hello, little one.
Hello.
It's funny because I just heard my little one screaming upstairs.
Oh. But they're remastering. They're remastering 1 and 2.
Yes, but if 2 doesn't have Spider-Man in it, I'm going to be pissed.
Fair enough.
Like that was the best part of Spider-Man 2, and that was always the best part of the Tony Hawk games. Is they always had the best guest skaters. Like 5, the only reason I really got it was so I could skateboard as a Ninja Turtle. Like that's all I wanted to do was skateboard as a Ninja Turtle, and now I can. Well, no, all that stuff is.
I know they fixed it.
My issue with the game though is like you fall, and instead of just getting up and having the get up animation, it goes to like a white screen of like heavenly gates, and then you just respawn. And I'm like, why can't we just have a get up animation? Especially when you have time missions and like you need to time like to get up, like mashing the X button to get up was always a cool thing to get up faster. Like,
right.
So that's kind of where it loses me. But other than that, I've had fun with it. I got it Wednesday. I got it yesterday, so I had fun with it last night. I stayed up until like 12:30 playing it. So, and then I also got Turtles Mutants in Manhattan because they go hand in hand. And that game kind of like a throwback towards Turtles in Time, just with some added random missions and stuff. And I enjoyed playing it when I had it the first time, so I was like, let me get it again just to have it. It's something to use as a buffer game when you get tired of something else or can't beat a mission or something.
By the way, I meant to ask, and I'm sorry, Jesse. I caught it earlier. Jesse Darby wanted to know what your finisher was.
So if you saw where I had him hooked and he was like elbowing me in the head, there's a guy on WWE named Buddy Murphy, and he does what he calls the Murphy's Law, where he kind of just picks him up in the pump handle and tucks his head under and splashes or slams him around. I kind of do the same thing, but instead of like tucking my head under, I throw him up and almost keep him in a neck breaker suplex kind of thing. I have a couple clips of it. I can always show people if they want. There's also a clip of me floating around getting put through a door by a plastic skeleton and getting beat up by a plastic skeleton.
That's awesome.
It was fun.
Huh.
It's a whole other story. It was such a fun thing to do. Yeah. So that's my finisher. What was I calling it? I was calling it Soul Breaker for a little bit, and then people were calling it the Devil Driver, but it's not really a driver. So I really don't have an official name for it. But I do a DDT as well, which is you grab the head and you go like this, but I step through and like hook the leg, and then hi puppy.
A step through DDT? Holy crap!
Well, so like the Russian leg sweep, you grab them here and you wrap your leg around their leg and slam them
and
back.
Then slam them backward, right?
With the DDT, I hold it and then I step, put my foot behind their leg and kind of use it to get more momentum.
Holy crap! Damn.
That one I call the Doll DT because my last name is Doll, so you just take one D out.
Nice.
So, and the elbow drop you guys saw, I called it Not Your Grandma's Elbow. Grandmother, whatever. Because I actually have a tattoo for my deceased grandmother right here.
Oh.
That I use this arm to hit the elbow, so that's why I call it that.
That is just awesome. Man, that is awesome.
Sound like a cutie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hear it. Yeah. So.
You can hear it?
Yeah, a little bit. Aw.
She's gonna be 2, not this Saturday.
Oh my goodness, a baby. Aw.
My puppy's already 2, who's getting pets.
That is so awesome.
Kind of busy there, puppy.
Yeah. What was it? Dreadful said call it Devil Splash. And Born Distracted said call it Amico Smash.
That would be if I did it.
Dave, you mentioned Tony Hawk. I'm sure. I mean, I'm a big Tony Hawk fan, big fan of the games. But when you mentioned that, I thought, when he first partnered up with Activision, man, he took a lot of heat for a lot of people in the skateboarding community, everything. I mean, they were calling him a sellout. He was getting deals with like McDonald's and Jeep for sponsorships and stuff like that. But they were calling him a sellout. And all he was doing was trying to further his career and reach out, man. But he took a lot of hell of a grief off of that. You mentioned you like Tony Hawk, so I was just thinking about that.
The thing is, like, of course there's going to be haters for everything. When I got my sponsorship with my house, wrestlers were like, "Oh, why did you get that? You haven't done anything." And then even like my own brother who streams on Mixer, but I'm not allowed to reveal who he is because he's like, "You use your real name for things, and I don't want to be known." He tried contacting them and get a sponsorship. I'm like, dude, you're not an athlete. You don't do what I do. Like, why would you try to ruin it for me? And like other wrestlers have done the same thing, where they try to contact them and be like, "Hey, how do I get free stuff? Or can you hook me up?" And just like, no, they can't. So, yeah, they're people are just haters. And same thing with like Tony Hawk. I saw videos on TikTok the other day. This kid ran down a FedEx driver and was like, gave him this old skateboard that was a birdhouse and was like, "Hey, can you take this to Tony Hawk's house?" And hold on, Rain, I'll be right there. So like he gave him the skateboard to take to Tony Hawk's house. So this guy posted the video on TikTok and tagged Tony Hawk. And Tony Hawk sent a video back saying, "Hey, yeah, thanks for the board. It's actually on my way to my house right now." And he's sending him an actual real board that he skates on.
Oh, nice.
In return.
Well, if you want to, if you guys are interested, Tony Hawk was on the Joe Rogan Experience. So if you guys want to hear a really good podcast episode, Joe Rogan talks to Tony Hawk, about, when he was up and rising with the games, and Tony Hawk's talking about all the adversity he went through and the hell he caught from people calling him a sellout. And Joe Rogan has a real good interview. So I would recommend anybody that wanted to know more about that to listen into that podcast episode.
Oh, hello.
There's no cat here.
Oh, she's fishing.
No, she's trying to play with the cat.
Oh, it's the cat toy. I got you.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, that's right. Put it over me so the cat can come scratch me up.
The thing is, like, we have 2 cats, and I'm actually kind of afraid of cats if they have claws because of a bad experience when I was a little kid. So, like, our one has all its claws, the other one's declawed. So, like, I'm nice to the one and, like, weary of the other. Like, stay away from me.
So, you know who else? You know who else had a problem with cats?
The Mummy.
Nick Fury. Oh, and the Mummy. I was going to say Nick Fury, but the Mummy too. Well, that was just on last night too. It's funny you said that. So, all right. So, man, that's great. So, what else do you play? I mean, I know from the chat room, you were a big PlayStation guy.
Yes. So I'm PlayStation, Nintendo all the way. Only because they really don't compete with each other, you know. So, like, if I buy Nintendo stuff, it's not going to really affect PlayStation. So for me, it works out both ways. So I've owned every PlayStation system. I've owned every Nintendo system. PS5 is coming next. And, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just the first one. Like, when PlayStation 1 came out, it was more of a bonding thing with my dad because, like, I would sit there with him because at the time I was just going to his house on the weekends, every other weekend. And, like, he'd play Final Fantasy VII, and, like, I would just lay there and watch him. Or he'd play Tomb Raider, and I just lay there and watch him. And then, like, we got Warzone for wrestling, like WWF Warzone back in the day, and I'd play that on my own. And we'd Crash Bandicoot, we'd play on our own and stuff like that. And then, like, Nintendo systems were always just fun to play as a family, too. So we've always had those. And, yeah, everybody in my house or my family is PlayStation. My dad, my brother. Actually, my brother goes back and forth between everything now because of streaming. And my stepsister does PlayStation and Nintendo. So, yeah, we're big PlayStation, Nintendo people.
Okay.
Yeah, I like PlayStation. And I know, Mike, you're going to yell at me and say holding their controller is uncomfortable, but to me, that's the way I've held a controller since 1996.
Look, if you want to talk about holding a controller, try holding an Intellivision controller. Okay,
Right.
I get it.
I am mad at them, by the way, because 1, there's no wrestling game on there.
Yet.
And 2,
Yet.
the purple one is more expensive at GameStop because it's purple. Just because it's purple.
No, I think they're bundling it. So Tommy addressed that. Tommy addressed that on Open Every Box, Pete. And Pete, if you're still in the chat room, if you still have the notes on that, if you wouldn't mind, he addressed that. I believe that they are putting. GameStop has a bundle they're doing. That's why it's more expensive. It's not. There are limited edition consoles that they're putting out, but they're VIP and Founders Edition stuff. Yeah. So. Yeah, but remember. So the thing too is, I got Mike Herron in touch with Tommy, so they have talked.
Ooh.
So
we would be able to play as Daredevil Dave Doll and the Amico.
Well, you never know. I mean, right now, Mike right now is concentrating on the PS and Xbox and Switch version of the game, and the PC version rather. So he's working on the main consoles right now, and. He said if he was to do anything, he'd love to work with the Amico, but it would have to be afterwards. So don't never say never.
That'd be awesome.
Dave, you mentioned the controller, and you're a big Nintendo fan. You know what this controller is.
That was the worst controller ever made.
That is the Nintendo 64 Atomic Purple controller.
Yeah.
Had the Z trigger on the bottom. But I think we talked about this on one show, and we've played with. I bet you I don't know how many controllers I've played with. I'm a firm believer you can play with any controller you pick up and use. It's just a matter of getting used to it.
You get used to it, but
I actually think that the most comfortable controller is the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. In my honest opinion, that Nintendo Switch Pro controller is more comfortable in my hands than any other controller right now, by far. It feels great. Yeah, love it.
We have 3 switches in our house. So we have 2 lights and a regular one. So I have I get made fun of it. I have the coral Switch Lite because that was the last one left when I wanted to get it. And then my stepson has the yellow, and then his mom has basically confiscated the regular Switch. But like holding that is fine, even though the joysticks are in different places. But it's just something about the Xbox controller I can't stand. It just
Really
baffles my mind, and it's just I can't stand it.
Is it the
I want to throw it against the wall.
So to be fair, if you are used to the symmetrical sticks, the asymmetrical sticks can be a little tough. But it goes the other way too. Part of my issue is that I'm so used to. You got to remember, I go back to consoles like the Saturn and the Dreamcast, where the left stick was asymmetrical to start. So that Xbox controller always felt like it was close to the Dreamcast controller, and that's just how that goes. I've had, I didn't have a PlayStation 1. I had a 2, 3, and a 4. So I've had all the DualShocks. I tease. It depends on the game, whether or not I get, PlayStation Claw or not. But when I'm playing regular stuff, I mean, it's not that, it doesn't bother me.
It's funny too, Mike, because I can play with all the controllers, and I really don't have anything bad to say about any of them. I love my Xbox controller. I mean, I like them all. The one difference I have, it's not, a lot of people always talk about the symmetry of the analog sticks. That's not the issue with me. If I pick up, especially the new Xbox controller, the right and left bumpers are closer together on the top. And I've got pretty big hands. So when I put my hands on the right and left bumper, they actually touch on the top. They're so close together. When on the PlayStation controller, it's wider and spread out, and my right and left bumper are further apart. And I know that, so it's for me, it's not even the matter of the analog sticks. But like I said, I mean, I love the Xbox control. I mean, I pick them up. I mean, you'll hear people argue all the time about it. And it's like, oh, I can't I mean, you can learn to play with anything unless you've got some kind of, I don't know, maybe if you're handicapped or you've got a physical issue where maybe one controller feels better for you. But I think we've all learned to adapt. Heck, we used to play with joysticks and one button.
Yeah.
This is true.
From the 64 arcade sticks. Yeah.
That's right.
Delicious.
Those are the days. So
those were the days.
So, well, that's great, man. I mean, look, PlayStation's got hot games. They got that Ghost of Tsushima coming out. I mean, I'm waiting for that. Chris's daughter has taken over the podcast. She's just gonna sit herself down and she's gonna talk games with us. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
We're talking about Candyland.
Yeah, the game. So, and
look at that. That's Little Fastback.
Yeah. So I love. I mean, I'm a Sega guy, so I go back. That's where I go back to.
That Sega Saturn controller was sweet.
Yes, it was.
That Sega Saturn, especially for fighters or anything, the button configuration on that was awesome.
Yep. Oh yeah.
My favorite game on Sega was the Power Rangers game, where like you had to fight the Green Ranger before you could play as the Green Ranger, and like it was fun. And then you had the Beavis and Butthead game on it too, which was fun.
Yes, and the Ren and Stimpy and all those.
Yeah, I think that's why I played Lion King and Aladdin on too for the longest time. Was that system? And
Aladdin was so good.
Oh, I got the remaster for the Switch. That and Lion King together.
And
so
that,
hard.
Yep. Well, that's great. So, knowing that you and John have to get up really, really early, we're gonna move forward with a couple of things. Chris, you mind if I go first?
Go for it.
Cool. You're the host, baby. We love you. Go.
Whoa.
The host with the most.
Yeah, the hostess with the mostest.
I'm not. This isn't the Mike Mullis NLG show. We're all in this together.
Right.
No, I think the good segue from wrestling with Dave Doll and then going to what you're going to be showing with your retro wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So makes sense.
So I was actually
Twinkies, crispy bomb. No.
So I'm going to be trying as much as I can to do a segment on the show, kind of in honor of our old friend Crazy Juan, who used to do these on here. Him and I, as some of us do, share. John and I know Chris and Peter share a very kindred retro spirit, and so I wanted to start doing some sort of retro segment. Some segment on some retro stuff, whether it's old Nintendo, old Sega, mostly old Sega. But I mean, things in my collection, and so I had something already in mind. And then Dave said, "I'm coming on this week, right?" So I'm like, well, if he's coming on, I think I'm going to do something that's a little more tailored to him being our guest. So I dug into the archives, and I'm glad that you mentioned the N64. I've drawn into the archives, and I brought up a number of games of wrestling games from the NES on up. I only picked a few because it's about a 20-minute video. We're going to talk about this because I want your opinions on these games if you played them, of just various wrestling games and if they have held up. And spoiler alert, most of these haven't. So there's a reason. So we're going to start.
On the Sega? Yeah.
No, just wait. Just wait, my friend. Just wait. So first up, of course, is one of the pioneering games of wrestling on a console, Pro Wrestling from Nintendo.
Oh, and, look at that!
If you
already
guys,
looks good already. Sheesh.
Oh, Lord. If you guys remember,
this is awesome.
If you guys remember,
great.
This game was a port of Matmania Challenge from the arcade. It didn't say it was, but you could tell it was Matmania Challenge.
Look at that ref doing the moonwalk, Mike.
I know. Your guys had limited moves. You basically had, because the Nintendo had 2 buttons, so you basically, but you could go off the ropes, but you had 2 buttons. You had a punch and a kick, and you could never punch because the punch never landed. And then when you grappled, you could either do a move or throw them against the ropes. And but on this one, you could go up on the turnbuckle. So this game was decent, but it was okay. I would say this one probably. This one, a winner is you. Now, then came the worst wrestling game I've ever seen.
Data East, yeah.
Data East Tag Team Wrestling. This was atrocious. And I just, oh my goodness. This was actually, again, an arcade port of Tag Team Wrestling on in the arcade, and it was horrible. You could just see.
Look at that!
Oh my God! You basically when you grappled.
What was that?
You had to pick your move. Oh wait.
Mike, he was flying through the air like Neo from the Matrix.
Yes,
what's that move?
That's the headbutt. This was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And you had 3 seconds to pick a move. So you grappled, and then you had to hit the A button to pick a move, and then hit B to do the move. And Pete said he paid $40 for this. I'm sorry. And what's really hilarious about this is
it's better than WWE 2K20.
Well, maybe.
Boom.
The funniest part was the computer was horrible. It cheated. When he turned red, you couldn't hit him. All right, so then we get to the Sega. Don't think it got any better. Wrestle War was another arcade port.
World Wrestling.
Yeah, I know. I only had a limited amount of time.
Here we go. Look at this.
Wrestle War was good in the fact that it had bigger characters and all this stuff, but oh my God, you could only fight up and down, and you could only do like 3 moves or throw the guy against the ropes. And when you changed positions, this crazy turning of the ring was just like this. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, that looks weird.
But Mike, look at the striations in the muscles, though.
Well, yeah.
Much more improved than the. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it looks great, but look at Sega. They just want you to see their name, Sega. That's why
Look
they
at that.
keep
No.
See?
Yeah, no. This was horrible. You could play this for like 5 minutes and then go, I don't know why I put a quarter in the arcade game.
Right.
And the sound wasn't much better. Hold on. Oh, you can't hear the sound because I got to share the screen.
Like
Hold
I
on.
said, player 1 and then enemy.
Yes, you
What
were.
is
You
that
were
move?
you were the mighty. You were the mighty player 1.
First enemy.
Oh wait, he's going for the. He's hitting me with a. He's hitting me with a Genesis.
Oh.
There.
This is horrible.
Well,
I
this
really
is
did not have a good
classic,
time
though.
with this. Oh, it is. Oh, it is. But
Oh, that's terrible.
it is.
Did you see
terrible.
how fast Chris he got through those ropes on the rink there?
Probably go to like WWF Raw or something.
Now, the most
There we go.
horrible game ever created, and it was on the Super Nintendo. WCW Super Brawl. So here's Ron Simmons versus Barry Windham, and you tell me what the hell's going on.
Look at this.
This, I
I don't remember that one.
That's like you're breakdancing.
Ooh.
My brother always got wrestling games when we were growing up. I don't remember that one.
I don't think anybody does.
Ooh. No.
Poor,
I love it. It's so corny. It's good.
It is.
I
Now
love
watch every time. Well, listen, hold on. Wait, he's out. Hang on. I mean, Ron Simmons. Poor Ron. This is.
What is that slapping sound? That's horrible. It sounds like a fish smacking the water.
Probably how they kept you.
Wait. Ugh.
I love it.
This did not age well. Wait. And there's.
What the heck?
Well, you know, because you had to have. You had to have Tony Schiavone.
Why does that ref keep covering up his nuts? Look at him. Look.
Oh man. All right, so next up. So then we got to the Sega CD. And in the Sega CD, of course, you were able to do things like music and full motion video. So here we had WWF Rage in the Cage. And I thought to myself, oh man, this now, come on, Sega CD.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got CD format. We got Lex Luger. We
Lex
got
Luger.
WWF. We got all the, the 64 color full motion video. And I'm thinking, all right, this is what I'm talking about. There's Razor Ramon. Scott Hall. Dreadpool says, let's go back to pro wrestling.
Yeah, pro wrestling looks
And this was cool. So the intros were really cool. Right? So I'm thinking, all right.
From Death Valley, weighing 328 pounds, The Undertaker.
That's terrible commentating.
Now is your epitaph. He dared step
Oh,
into
look
the
at that.
ring
Nice.
with The Undertaker.
Ooh, nice.
Rest in
Ooh,
peace.
nice.
So then, listen to
To my
Randy
right.
Savage, though. Hold on.
From Sarasota, Florida, weighing 245 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh, yeah. Brace yourself, yeah, because it's time for the Macho Madness to bust loose. And it's going to do it right now. Yeah, dig it.
Oh, yeah, it's time for
And I'm
you.
thinking, all right. I'm thinking, here we go. And then the game started.
That's pretty good.
So from here out, for a little while, you're going to see a little bit of a pattern. As Jax Interactive made most of these games, you're going to start seeing a whole lot of familiarity. There's not a whole lot of wrestling to be had in this game.
No?
There's a whole lot of just punching and stuff.
It's more like ER Kung Fu with an occasional grapple. I saw the grapple meter show up every once in a while.
Yeah. Yeah. This was horrible. And I was like, you know, there's a cage. You never use the cage. It's just there for show.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Ooh. Yeah.
All right. So then came the 32X, and I'm thinking, you know what? All right, here we go. The 32X. Raw is War 32X. How bad could it be? Well, here's your answer. This is Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart attempting to wrestle Lex Luger and the 1-2-3 Kid. So you see the meter. The meter is exactly the same as Rage in the Cage because Jakks Interactive decided, oh, that worked, so we're going to keep doing this because, you know, fun. But no, it really wasn't. And after a while, you go, I don't know why.
Look, he just nailed the ref.
Yep. So there's Bam Bam Bigelow and Yokozuna. And, you know, Yokozuna looks like he's, you know, had a diet. He looks like he's, you know, nice and slim. And Diesel looks like he looks almost like remember evil Michael Knight from the Knight Rider show with Goliath the truck? That's what he looks like. So yeah, now you can knock the ref down and oh my god. So the other 32X game that I found in my collection that I also forgot really sucked was WrestleMania. Now, this was a port of the arcade game. Maybe I just didn't like the arcade game.
But this one was
arcade.
And this was
So, yeah. So, Dave, if you took wrestling and combined it with, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, this is what you would get.
Look at that
uppercut,
man.
It's kind of the first one I played on PlayStation. Warzone.
That uppercut sent him 15 foot in the air.
Yeah.
The WWF games on Super NES were better.
They were the same games.
I enjoyed them when I was a kid.
Well, yeah, when you're a kid, right? Treadpool says finish
I haven't played them a while back, but
I'm telling you, these do not age well.
Oh, this is just pure madness.
This is hard, yeah. This was great in the arcade, apparently. So, he said clown scared the hell out of him.
I can see why people lose all their quarters.
All right, so then we get to the next. So now we get to the Nintendo 64. And we get to one of my favorite games on the Nintendo 64 at the time, WCW versus NWO World Tour. This was when the NWO was really big. There's Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And I actually put him up, I think, against Dean Malenko. You can't tell because, of course, they don't put the wrestlers' names on the screen. But that's okay.
You can tell the heights because it says 1,000. And he was the man of 1,000 holds.
The man of 1,000 holds. I really liked Dean Malenko. I thought he was awesome. The Texas Clover. Huh?
I did a seminar with him.
Oh, nice. Nice. So, this was one of the first games in the Jakks series that sort of went in a different direction. You could actually slow down a little bit. You could actually start to do some moves. And
man, on these old games, Mike, you can see the clipping, like when they're grabbing each other.
Oh, absolutely.
And stuff. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And you can see their faces. So there's Ric Flair. There's Ric Flair and Scott Hall. I mean, look at Ric Flair's face. Now we're gonna do the. I mean, that was pretty cool. But look at Ric Flair's face. It's like it doesn't look like him at all. So this spawned a couple other games in the series: WCW versus NWO Revenge. And then there was a couple of WWF games. Now, I started putting in WWF No Mercy, but then I realized that WWF WrestleMania 2000 was a slightly better version of that, of the next iteration. You don't think so, Dave? Do you like No Mercy better?
No Mercy is the game that everybody uses and calls the perfect wrestling game. And a lot of modders use that to make like AEW games.
Yeah, I don't agree. I liked this one better. And maybe it was just
both of them are two of my favorites.
Yeah. What I liked about this one, this is really one of the first games to have intros. Like No Mercy really didn't have this, where you walked out from the back. So
the first ones on PlayStation were horrible too. When you get to like WWF SmackDown, it's just video.
and Raw and WCW Thunder. Ugh.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing, for whatever reason, the first match that I had in my mode here, because there was basically a kind of a road to WrestleMania. For some reason, it put me in a three-way match against these guys, and I can't even remember who they both are. But as you can see, it's a slightly slower game, but there's a little more. So not as much with the clipping, John.
Right, I noticed that. Yeah.
And you can see that there's just a little more. The action's a little tighter, and you know, again, No Mercy was a little faster to this, but it was in kind of the same vein. All right, so now I'm moving on to the Dreamcast. So the Dreamcast had two games on it. That one was, well, this was Ukes and Jax trying to take a shot at a WWF game on the Dreamcast called Royal Rumble. And literally, it was just the Royal Rumble. That's all you could do was the Royal Rumble. And so, what I will say about this... Yeah, what I will say about Royal Rumble is... as you can see, there's a bunch of wrestlers on the screen, and the gameplay stays extremely smooth and tight. I was really impressed. They also did away with a couple of things from the Nintendo 64 series. You know how you could use one of the buttons to change your focus? Whereas here, you can just turn to face somebody. There's a lot going on the screen. And it was decent, but it got old quick because there was no kind of season, there was no creator wrestler, there was no. This was it. You had this. I think you did have an exhibition match, but this was about it.
Yeah, there's no pacing either. It's just a free for all. Yeah.
It's pretty much it. Now, Dave, I wanted you to see this game. This is one of the best wrestling games I've seen in a retro area. This is called Giant Graham Wrestling, and it's based on All Japan Pro Wrestling. It came out on the Dreamcast only in Japan, as you can see from the Japanese lettering. It had guys like, of course, Vader. It had Stan Horton. It had a couple of other guys from the U.S. who wrestled in All Japan, and it also had a couple of characters from Virtua Fighter. Here's the thing.
Stan Hansen and Scott Norton.
Yep, Stan Hansen. Thank you. That's what I meant to say. So here's what really impressed me about this game and how well it was. You see the reversal popping up. You see while they're grappling, there's hand fighting going on, and you can push back and forth. So you're able to push guys up against the ropes. You're able to do some. This was about as real a wrestling game as I had ever seen. And once I had translated the book, the move sets in here were phenomenal, and it felt tight, and it felt really smooth. So like I said, again, here you see them, you see the grappling, and you see now he's going to push him up against the ropes, and he's going to push back. Amazing stuff.
I need to play this game.
When did this come out? What year?
When did this come out? This came out in 2000, I think. Because I think it's called Giant Graham 2000.
Yeah, it does look good.
Dreamcast and find this.
And it's only you can only get it in Japan. So I had to pull out my I literally had to pull out my import Dreamcast to play it. See, you got a reversal there.
I bet you Stinking Corpse, he might have this.
He might.
There's gotta be an emulated version.
Hey, good night, Infinite. There is. It's not all Dreamcast emulators are great. So, but I tell you, this is a great game to play, and it was probably one of the best I could see. Again, you can do reversals, and it just felt so good.
Now, if WWE added some of these elements, the game will be awesome.
I might go back and play this a little more. I still have my import hooked up from when I took this footage.
Oh, nice.
So. And they had, they had small entrances from the side. Nothing too fancy. So that's my run through. That's my run through some games that I found from the old days that I just loaded up, and I'm like, wow, some of these were really bad.
Very nice presentation, Mike. Very nice.
Thank you. Now, for you, Dave, I also thought of this. So everybody knows that eventually wrestling got to one series, and that series did spawn really on the PlayStation platform, and that was WWF SmackDown. And I think, for me, just for me, the version that really kind of took the series off, and I did, I'm sorry, Dreadpool, I did leave out Fire Pro Wrestling only because we showed Fire Pro Wrestling. I showed some Fire Pro Wrestling last week on the Saturn footage. So I didn't want to redo Fire Pro Wrestling, but Dave, the game that I think launched where we are today with wrestling is really WWF SmackDown. So Know Your Role more for me was like really one of the games that kind of pioneered what you see today and where the WWE franchise went to. And now you start to see much better faces, much better body detail. You've got that patented PlayStation look to it, but it looked so much better than what we've seen in the past. I wish they would have done from the back entrances, but you take that. So
a lot of people see the SmackDown series get remastered, but mainly Here Comes the Pain.
Yes.
For some reason, like the only one that was Brock Lesnar branded versus The Rock branded.
Yeah.
Really good. I like 2 is my favorite out of the first 2, obviously, only because when you simulate it in the career mode, they had those little like gauges underneath that would go back and forth. Like you would go down a little bit, and then like another guy would go down like a tiny bit. Then you see him go down a lot, and like you got to see like the struggle of the match kind of without actually playing it. So that was kind of a cool feature I really enjoyed in that game. Plus, you could unlock like Shawn Michaels and stuff, and he would like blow up a bus, and like it was cool.
Yeah, I mean this was a great game, and I wish this wasn't, unfortunately. 2 wasn't at the time when Here Comes the Money was out. That's a newer, of course. That's Shane O'Mac's entrance music, and I kind of wish they had it here. He just comes out to the to the McMahon music. That's the one. Here come the money. Here come the money.
He started using that. That's what he bought WCW.
Yes. Still one of my, as much as I hated the fact that WCW went away and WWE actually just completely ruined that whole thing. That particular episode when they're in Florida and Shane comes out, or Panama, and they're in Panama City, and Shane rolls out on Nitro on that last Nitro live, and that was like a surreal moment. I had a bunch of friends that we got together to watch Nitro. And we knew it was coming because we had read about it, and just, you know, we knew this was going to be the last Nitro, and that, you know, they were running that whole angle about Vince McMahon buying them. When Shane McMahon walked out, like, all of us just went, what? And just froze, because we didn't see that coming.
Cool. I read not read Jim Ross's book. I listened to Jim Ross's new book, and the original idea when they bought WCW was actually to make it its own brand and its own competition by getting in a TV deal. Like, they were trying to get it on national TV on the same station that Raw was already on. And I think they were just going to move Nitro to like a different night, kind of like how NXT's on Wednesdays right now. And they were going to make their own version of WCW. But what happened is when the original deal was being made, Vince wanted TV time on Turner Broadcasting, but Turner was like, the presidents of Turner at the time were like, no, we don't want wrestling no more at all. That's why we're selling this. But then they just lowered the price so darn much that Vince couldn't say no to it. And he bought it and then just looked for a TV deal for it, which is why we got those random, like, 1-hour versions of WCW Nitro on Monday Night Raw, which were terrible.
They were. I mean, I was the WCW guy. You know, we were all WCW guys. We had gotten really tired of WWE, and you know, a lot of what we liked out of WWE, and so many memories, like watching Rick Rude come out after they just showed him on Raw, and he walks out on Live Nitro and goes, I forgot how he phrased it, but I bet you didn't think you'd see me on 2 shows at once. I mean, whatever he said. I mean, it was stuff like that. And
too.
Huh?
It would think more when they filmed that episode of Raw on that live episode of Nitro.
Oh yeah.
If you look at it, you can tell it's the same exact suit. It's really hilarious.
It is. It's hilarious. He basically filmed that and then took a plane. I mean, it was crazy. You know, and unfortunately to me, the downfall was when Turner decided to get, like, heavily involved in it. I know Eric Bischoff gets a ton of crap for TNA. And some of that, but when he was actually running WCW, he knew what he was doing, and he got them to where they were, and then Turner decided, well, we want to just, you know, we want control, and that ruined it more than anything. I mean, they took they had a golden opportunity to market a very pissed off Bret Hart, and just ruined it. I mean,
Bret had a lot of issues in WCW, though. I mean, besides what happened to him in WWE, he's getting injured constantly, the tragic death of his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a lot of stuff in his run in WCW that just did not help him. Plus getting concussed by Goldberg with that kick. And
yep.
Too much, I think, for him to handle. Like, Bret, when you meet him, super nice dude. You can talk to him for minutes while he's signing stuff, like I have, and he's awesome to know. But, like, you can just tell at that time period that was not Bret that everybody knew.
Yeah. But they just had, they had such a chance to at least try to get him something. You know, he was booked.
They did. I mean, he was world champion there, at least once, and U.S. champion a couple times.
Yeah.
Then Anvil came over, and they were tag champs, and then Davey Boy came over, then went back, and, WCW was a super weird place. Like, that whole debacle with bringing Warrior in was terrible.
Oh, yes. Dude, we were at the Nitro in Baltimore because they came to Baltimore. Remember they did was it Bash at the Beach?
No, the Goldberg.
No. Hogan and Warrior. Or was it Hogan?
That was Halloween Havoc 98.
Halloween Havoc, thank you. Halloween Havoc, and then the night after at Raw or Nitro, they did a rematch. And it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Well, they had to waste like half of Nitro showing the final match of the night because they had to cut the TV because Warrior and Hogan went so damn long that pay-per-view cut them off because they were going too long. So if you watch that live, they cut you off in the middle of Diamond Dallas's title defense.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to. We didn't get to go to Halloween Havoc itself. So we went the next night. Anyway, so that's my see. So I can get on a whole wrestling tangent, but these guys are.
Much wrestling knowledge up there.
Yeah. No, I don't want to bore everybody. So.
Yeah. It's been a long time for me. I mean, I played a lot of it when I was a kid. Of course, me and my brother grew up together, so we were big WWF fans as kids, and I guess for me as I got older, it just grew out of it. My brother, he kind of kept on it. He stayed in touch, and I think he went to a couple shows here and there, and he has a couple boys, so he still, even to this day, he's still in it. So he definitely knows more than I do.
I always say if you got out of it, the best thing to do is go to your local indie because it will make you love it so much more. When it's stripped down, raw, and it's just two guys trying to go out there really improve themselves and put on the best match they can for you. Like that is the best time to go back and try to get back into it and continue going to them. Like supporting, it's just like supporting indie video games. Supporting indie wrestling isn't necessary because the indie guy today could be the WWE star of tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
So
that's true.
Support them now before supporting them costs you thousands of dollars.
Absolutely. I mean, we have MCW here, and it's a great promotion. To be quite honest, I mean they do a great job here.
They do. I did Icons in November, and I was next to their tables. They had like Road Warrior Animal and Hacksaw, Billy Gunn, Renee Michelle, which she's basically only really famous for being Drake Maverick's wife right now.
Right.
And I was sitting next to Animal, just joking around with Animal all day. Because like the month before, I spent the whole weekend with him. So like he's a super cool dude. And it was just fun to just sit there and shoot the crap and be like, hey, if you buy one of his pictures, you should come over and buy one of mine. Like I did the same thing I do on Twitter there.
Oh. I mean, think about it, and you're right because, and I don't know if he is still, but whoever, I mean, you look at a guy like AJ Styles, right? So AJ Styles is one of the most beloved wrestlers right now in WWE. He started out in an independent circuit. Nobody knew who he was before he got to WCW in 2001. Nobody knew about him. And now he was like, isn't he like the longest reigning SmackDown champion? Something like that. He's like one of the longest reigning SmackDown.
Maybe. I think he might be one of the longest reigning WWE champions because now that there's the whole Universal title and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, all their records and stats are weird now because they've had the WWE title and then they've had the World Heavyweight title. Then,
my eyes are bleeding.
WWE
by the
World
way,
Heavyweight title. There's just way too many title changes of their main title.
And Dreadpool's right. He was in New Japan for a while. He was in IWGP. He was all around.
ROH, TNA.
Yep.
I mean, he's basically the godfather of TNA.
Yeah.
If you get Impact Plus and go back and watch like the early weekly pay-per-views, like some of the wrestling is terrible, but some of the guys that you see coming up and then see where they went to is awesome. Like AJ, I enjoy watching Ken Shamrock on there because he's like an animal.
I used to like watching Ken Shamrock.
Mm-hmm. He's he's doing some great stuff right now with actually the guy that trained me, Sammy Callahan, on Impact.
Yeah, he went back to Impact. But I'm starting to. I lost interest in Impact a while ago. I mean, they can't keep anybody. I thought when it's like you watch their old videos and you go, well, where's this guy now? Where's this guy now? They're
with right now though, Sammy he's even said he put the horse on his back. It's one of the reasons why he left NXT and then did Indies for a little while and then signed with Impact and keeps re-signing with them because he's trying to help them succeed, and he's a very driven guy. I trained with him for a good bit of my training, and he's very good at what he does. I mean, he almost chopped my nipple off one time. So, he's really trying to rebuild the brand of Impact. And right now, the character that he's doing with this hacker gimmick he's doing was actually what he was supposed to be doing in NXT. But once Dusty didn't have his hands on it, people didn't understand it and it just went down the drain.
I don't know. I think that the problem with them now is they're lost in the shuffle, especially with AEW. And in Impact, I miss guys that I used to that drew me to the promotion. EC3, Ethan Carter. Now I know he's not anywhere now. I mean, he went over to WWE, but I don't think they did anything with him. But he was. Go ahead.
He was part of the releases on April 15th.
Oh, okay. I mean, he was. Yeah, he was great. And I thought his persona was good, and having him with Magnus, not Magnus,
Maverick.
Yes. Well, who's the big guy that goes on?
Or Funkasaurus, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah. Having him, having guys. Was another guy. There were a few guys there that I liked. They tried. They tried to bring in some talent. I remember the times when they, when Bischoff and Hogan came, and they had Flair, and they had, they had Mr. Anderson come over. They had, they were trying to bring guys. RVD came back for a while, but they can't keep anybody right now. And that's, I think, what I don't like about it.
RVD's there now. It's actually funny. I have Sting's Hulkamania shirt from the last match he ever had with Hulk Hogan. Actually, in my closet upstairs. So Sting wore it, Hogan touched it, and then I got thrown to ringside, and Flair throws it in the crowd. And if you watch the YouTube video, you actually see me jump up and catch it.
Nice.
I didn't believe I caught it at first.
Nice. Can't believe he's almost 50, Rob Van Dam. I can't believe he's older than me.
Oh, wow.
He still looks like a kid.
I don't believe it.
I tried getting Hogan's bloody T-shirt, but they wouldn't give it to anybody. He's still in that ring for the show, and I'm like, I get that. They're like, no, it's biohazard.
That's funny. All right. So we are getting on 11:30. So I want to get over to Chris's segment because we do have we are debuting. We're gonna have to figure out. I haven't even changed the current topic. I'm sorry. I got to get better at that. I got to get better at that. So everybody thinks we're still on introductions. Or go, hey, I'm not late. No, you're really late.
Because it's late. Why don't you do the giveaway real quick?
We could do that.
While we still
have people. All right, that's a good idea. And then we'll get to yours. All right, then we'll get to your segment. So, those of you who are in the chat, I'm going to bring up the wheel of names. That's not the wheel of names. That's the wheel of names. So, Curtis, that's a lot of names. Courtesy of Daredevil Dave Doll, our guest tonight, an indie wrestler extraordinaire, he is giving away a copy of Retromania Wrestling. And for those of you who do not know Retromania Wrestling, make sure you go back a few episodes back on our channel where we interviewed RetroSoft Studios head Michael Herman, and we talk all about Retromania in this era. You know, did you guys know there are like 9 wrestling games coming out? It's like retro. There's a ton of them. There's Retromania. There's WWE what was it called?
Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds. There's an AEW game coming out. There's There's a game from a company called Virtual Basement. I know you had mentioned that on Twitter.
If you need any reference, they partially made Ark.
Ah, they partially made Ark.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a bunch of these games coming out. So Retromania Wrestling is coming out, and it is the official spiritual successor to WrestleFest. What in the arcade was WWF WrestleFest. They can't call it that now, of course, but it's the official sequel to WrestleFest. All right. And no, De Niro, you're here, and you're active, and you've been talking. So if you win, you win. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle them up. So.
Oh, we're doing this now.
Oh, yeah. We're doing this now.
It's the Wheel of Names.
Names.
All
All right. All right, here we go, folks. For a copy of Retromania Wrestling on the console of your choice, we're spinning the wheel.
Come on,
Or
no
a ring
whammies.
pop of your choice.
No whammies. Speaking of ring pop, it's time for a lick.
And the winner is... You got to be kidding me. Dreadpool!
Dreadful.
Yeah.
It's
That
rigged.
is twice. He won a gift card from us a couple weeks ago.
All right.
Ah, Dreadpool, congratulations.
We
We got to check him for steroids.
if he keeps winning.
I know.
Gotta pay him to come on the show.
All right, so Dreadpool, we will get Dave. How are we going to work this?
They can just DM me on Twitter, or if they need an email, I can give them my merchandise email.
All right, what I'll do, you know what? I will do this right now. I will hook you guys up in. I think I can do this because I follow you both.
Yeah, if you're not following each other, y'all should follow each other.
Yes, but let me see if I can do this.
I follow everybody that likes or retweets or does anything with anything I like or retweet, usually.
All right, so let me get it out of the Wheel of Names.
He
here.
says he's got you.
All right, cool.
Why'd you calling?
Well, congratulations,
what.
Dredd.
I'd like to see a mud wrestling game, Dave. Like take the girls from the Dead or Alive, fighting games. Do little mud wrestling.
You know what?
I
might need to
trouble for this kind of crap.
I might need to do. You know
Drop
what?
something, John.
I might need to do a
I'm telling you.
a more modern, because don't forget the Xbox 360 had Rumble Roses.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That was really good. That was actually really good. Konami did a great job with that. So
My kids, when they were younger, man, they would play the wrestling games like they'd get on the 360 or the PlayStation, and they'd play, and they loved playing as the divas. Because my one son, Justin, he was like, he loves wrestling, man, and he's actually good at all the wrestling games. So my daughter, my other sons, they would pick the divas and try to beat him. And one time they finally beat him, and they were like, "Oh, we beat you, Justin, with the diva." You got to love the divas, man. They're mean.
they can be, yeah. Especially on the later WWE games when you could create your own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to now I am going to change the here. I don't know what we're going to call this yet. Chris,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought about it, but
I like what
Fast
Peter.
Track to Next Level gaming
GamePass.
GamePass is kind of long, so
I kind of like Peter's though, which is
What was it? I forgot what I wrote.
Yeah.
Let's try this. Let's see what people think. It's called.
Yeah. If anybody's got any ideas what they want to call it.
Chris's Don't Pass on Game Pass. I don't know. We did find. I'm sorry that Frankie's not here tonight because honestly, Frankie has chosen Dave's name. So going forward, when coming back next week, the segment will be called Frankie's Save Files. So thank you, Dave. That was your idea, and he loved it.
I don't remember that winning the poll. I don't remember that winning. Come on.
How
It's a video game. So
how about Fast Pass?
Fast Pass. Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
All right, we'll have to churn it. The fast segment. All right, we'll have to.
Fast Game Pass.
All right, we'll keep going. You guys can give us ideas, and maybe I'll put it in the Twitter, and you guys can tweet us some ideas for what to call this segment. So for this week, we'll just call it Chris's Don't Pass on Game Pass.
We'll do another poll, and we'll pick the one that doesn't win.
Right.
We'll spin the wheel.
Let me cue this up real quick, and we'll get
If
you
Retro
rolling.
can do it, you guys can do it too, okay? I won their poll. I'm not in the video game.
That's true, but you lost this poll, and we're using it. So you are a winner. Hey, look. As far as we're concerned, a winner is you.
We should just make an NLG wrestling game and just put all of us in it.
Yes, I know. Well, I know that. I know John's ready.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh. All right, Mr. Chris, I'm going to turn this over to you and tell us what your Game Pass game that you want everybody to try out. The Don't Pass on Game. I like that though. This is the game you don't want to pass on Game Pass. Take it away, Chris.
Yeah. How about Don't Fast Pass or Don't Fast on Game Pass? I don't know. Anyways, so of course, I love Game Pass, especially lately. And so my what you're seeing here is Journey to Savage Planet. It's in Game Pass, and it's on every platform. Not on the Switch though, I don't think, not yet. But I highly recommend this. I picked it up. I downloaded it I think last Friday, and I just got hooked. And I played it all through the weekend. And so what you're seeing here is like a video. You're the astronaut or so that was sent out in space to discover this planet, and it's just funny. The humor on this is just great. It's kind of almost like Borderlands humor, kind of similar to Outer Worlds type of humor and shit like that. And like here you see this video, but every once in a while they have other videos like infomercials and so on. It's just like they have one I just saw the other day was like a sex hotline but it was about a blob, like a blob. You can call and talk to a blob. So
sure it was.
But the game is beautiful. I'm playing it on the Xbox One X on the 4K, and it's a good looking game. It's very fun. You got different features that you can use, throughout the game as you unlock certain things. Upgrade your weapon, you upgrade your, like a jump to a double jump, and then kind of like a little rocket where you can fly up a little bit higher. And then you got kind of like a whip where you can grab certain areas and then shoot over to the other side. And you got a couple little puzzles to do, and you're on this planet searching, and you end up discovering there's some kind of ancient alien stuff going on that they didn't expect, and but right here in the game you start off in your pod, when you land, and you have area where you can check your email and messages and videos and so on. But I highly recommend this. If you kind of like Borderlands, you like Outer Worlds, I highly recommend
Meat
picking
Buddy
this up.
Deluxe.
It's not a long game. Yeah. It's got a lot of humor. There's even a commercial about that Meat Buddy Deluxe. Just some weird stuff.
It all seems normal to me.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like one of your products of the week, John.
Yeah. Meat Buddy.
Meat Buddy.
It's the
weirder
buddy.
the better, man.
Meet your buddy tonight.
So like right there, you're also trying to find some resources and so on, so you can launch back up to, and so you can leave the planet. So that's one of the goals also throughout the game. Now I don't know if I can get to.
Look at that! Serve succulent meal. Look.
Rob,
I love it.
Yeah, it's like looks like you're inhaling a bottle of WD-40.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll love the humor in this game. And it's not a long game.
I like that.
They're failing in the chat room. The chat room is just a fail right now. There's no way we're calling this some of those things.
And see right here, what's funny is this. I guess it's kind of like pick your which is it? Your photo of you, and I picked the.
Oh my God!
I'll
Look, there's Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt and Fire Marshal Bill was next to him. Oh my God, that is hilarious! I'm gonna grab the launch trail. So what I'm gonna do is once I know which game you're going for, I'll grab your footage and kind of chop it up a little bit so we get to different parts of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and once I get my PC built up, I can help, try to edit some of this stuff too, going forward.
So De Niro had a small tweak that I kind of like. Don't pass in GamePass. Let's talk about this offline.
Yeah.
Oh. So this is not. I'm gonna ask this, and I asked this of somebody else, and they said no, definitely not. This is not like Tacoma, right?
No.
Okay.
No, you are actually going around. It's action. You are running around. You're shooting. You got different creatures, to interact with and to take out. It's not a hard game. It's not. I guess you consider like some areas are kind of hard to get to, almost like platforming in a way.
Okay.
Some areas it's a little challenging sometimes to get to certain areas, but you make it work. A couple of creatures that you come across, come on to, and you're like, the heck is that? What do you do? And I didn't. There was this one where it was shooting like a laser. So like everywhere it points, you got to make sure you kind of sneak around it. Once you get around it, then you punch it. You punch it from behind, sneak up on it. So
you sucker
find
punch
little
an alien.
tidbits on that. Yeah. And so this grob stuff that you're holding, like they have these creatures that you can throw this. It's like some kind of food crap, right? And then what's funny is there's a commercial about it that says, they got it. There's a chicken flavor, a meat flavor, and all kinds of other flavor, but it looks like black goo. But you could throw it, lands on the ground, and then these creatures come to it, they eat it, and then they fart out some resources that you can go and collect, like carbon. So then you go collect it.
Natural
So
gas,
either
right there.
Yeah, so you either shoot them. So you either shoot them to get the carbon, or feed them and let them fart out the carbon.
Oh my Lord!
Wow. And so that's another thing. So resources, there's some plants you can shoot. You get stuff from that, and other things that you can, get minerals from.
See, it's games like this are why kids are eating Tide Pods, though.
Or sucking on ring pops as an adult.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, see these little guys here.
Yeah, like SpongeBob.
Oh my goodness, this is hilarious.
And then throughout the game, you find these barrels. You can get some more of these canned goods, and
Look at that.
Of course,
thing.
here I come up here and I'm like, what the heck am I doing?
It's a good question.
That's like Cubert with tusks.
But that's the beauty of these games is that you jump in there, you don't know what's going on, you just explore. Like there, I didn't even know what that was in the beginning either. But what it is if your health bar goes down, then you can kind of restore your health.
Okay.
Throughout the game. So.
What are those things, Chris?
A little poo. I guess it's their poo.
Oh.
Couldn't do anything with it. See, like right there, I didn't know what to do either. So once you get some resources, you go back and you craft your gun. So, throughout the game, you learn how to see right there. I threw the deal. I was like, Too bad are you able to fast forward it?
I'm not. So I'm gonna play the trailer real quick. The trailer might have some stuff. That's something that OBS is working on. So that's coming soon. So here we'll roll the trailer and see what's part of the trailer.
This is coming to Switch in June. I just saw a thing for it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, cool. It looked good on Switch.
Look at that.
All right, so I want to see what this looks like. De Niro is really, really hot on this name. So don't pass in-game. Salisbury Simple. Oh.
You probably already had the graphic made.
Yeah, and it's got tons of these funny videos like that, infomercials.
Yeah, it does kind of remind you of a little bit of BioShock and a little bit of
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that creature there, that was one of the bosses. You do have some mini bosses.
So is this co-op?
I don't know. I thought I saw another player that I haven't played co-op. I came across that one. That was funny. It's just some neat look at. It's just a neat, looking around the environment. Like you see, because the planet seems like it's broken up, right? And so you look around and you see like different pieces of the planet, and there's, you have to platform your way to those areas, and it's fun. And so you see it at a distance, you're like, man, I want to go there, and you end up finding your way there. And you also find teleports throughout the area, so that it's kind of like a fast travel. So, let's say you go back to your pod, and you want to craft something, and then you go to the portal, and then you can port to different areas in the world, so that you don't have to go all the way back over there,
Okay.
Yeah, so great game. This is my GamePass game of the week. And like I said, I highly recommend anybody that, let's say if you just get into Xbox, like Dave, he's more of a PlayStation guy. But if he gets an Xbox, you don't want to spend a lot of money on games, but you want to play some of the Xbox's first party stuff. Game Pass would be a great thing to pick up, and vice versa. You're a Xbox guy and you pick up a PlayStation, PS Now would be a good thing to pick up too. I highly recommend it. Like in the last couple of weeks. Let me go by this right now. So the Game Pass, some of the new games that just went in recently are City Skylines, which came back in the Game Pass.
Yep.
Alan Wake is now in Game Pass. Golf with Your Friends. I think one of you guys were bringing that up, right? Is that mini golf one?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's atrocious.
But you said it's terrible, right?
Yeah.
Fractured Minds, some horror game that just went in. Final Fantasy 9, and of course Red Dead Redemption 2. Daisy's in there.
Ooh, Long John Donut.
Of course, we've been playing recently. Street Rage 4.
Yep.
Is in Game Pass. Hyperdot season game. They had the last Saturday. They had the dev on for Hyperdot, so I recommend go check them out. Deliver Us the Moon. If we had a segment the other week, that would have been my game of the week. I played that through Game Pass.
Z Black, what's up, Z Black?
Hey, what's up, Z Black? Gato Roboto. I've been playing that here off and on. That's a cool platformer game.
And you did that the other week.
Yeah.
So
that would have been a part of the my game of the week. I see Wasteland 3 already sitting in here, waiting.
It's pre like Minecraft Dungeons, which will be out on Tuesday.
You got Yukazu Kiwami. Long Dark just recently went in there. Avista Chronicles, Nier Automata, and of course I have Delivery Totally Reliable Service, which is a fun, goofy game. So, yeah, Game Pass is great. Especially if you're a gamer on a budget. You don't know what kind of games you like. What you want to play. Something that you can pick up, try. Plus, you get the first parties in there. Save a little bit of money. Use that money on third-party games that are not in Game Pass. And Game Pass does, like this game right here. That's a third-party game. I think it came out not too long ago. So, and I think we just saw some. Xbox had their third-party reveal. Some games that are coming to Xbox Series X, and some of those are going to be Game Pass on day of launch. So
awesome job, Chris.
Yeah,
awesome
great.
job.
It's kind of funny. Now that you played this trailer, I think I saw Xbox playing this game. You might have played on PC. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I looked at it. It looked pretty.
It's fun. It won't take you long to. Yeah, it's not a long game Now I don't know if once I get the resources to leave the planet, will I be able to go to another planet? I'm not sure.
Right.
Maybe I'll find out this weekend.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, and we'll look forward to many more of these.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody sticking around and checking out everybody's segment. So definitely we'll do more of these, and like I said, once I get my PC going, I'll do a little bit of editing, and I guess we'll I like De Niro's name for it, so maybe that's something that we'll pick up, and then maybe like we're here, we'll whatever my game of the week, and then we'll do the trailer and we'll show the game of the week, and I'll talk about weekly, like whatever, if something new comes in to Game Pass. I did real quick. Also, every once in a while, there are going to be games that are leaving Game Pass, and so right here on May 25th. So if you want to play these games before they go, or you can pick them up, you can pay 20%. You get 20% discount if you buy the games through Game Pass before they leave. So you got iDarb is leaving 25th. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Hydro Thunder Hurricane.
I'm surprised that's leaving. You guys play Hydro Thunder Hurricane before that leaves, or just buy Hydro Thunder Hurricane. That is phenomenal.
I don't remember that being in there that long either.
It's been in there since the beginning.
Oh, okay.
But I had it. Yeah, I had it.
Yeah. King of Fighters 98 Ultimate.
Some of my friends from Vector Unit. So.
And I think Old Man's Journey, I heard some good things about that. It's one of those games that give you the feels. So.
Chris's play it or forget it. Cool.
That's right.
Well, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So we are almost at midnight, and I do want to respect Dave and John's need to get up really early in the morning. I know you said don't worry about it, but I 5 o'clock. Like I don't have 5 o'clock, so 5 o'clock in the morning I'm still sleeping.
5:30. I don't have to get up. I get like 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Oh yeah, so we're getting the hell out of here so you can get some sleep.
That's what time seriously. Hey, don't forget about me now. I get up at 3:30, 4 a.m. every day too.
Do you really?
Yeah. Yeah. I get up early, like 3:30. So like tomorrow, I don't mind going in a little, tired, because I know I'm gonna get up at 2:30. So.
I get off when Chris does. I get up at 4:30 every morning, I get off at yeah.
You guys understand how bad I feel, how guilty I feel that we
don't feel bad. We love the show, Mike. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
I know, but wow.
They buy us all Ecos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny. Like in the morning, like sometimes I'll see John do some messaging in the morning, and then I'll respond to him. Force something 5 a.m.
Right.
So. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm usually hurting pretty bad at work. I'll come in to work, my eyes are bloodshot. I look like that guy from the Bugs Bunny or the Daffy Duck.
Right. Give me that cable.
Right. They're all looking at me and they're like, podcast night. I'm like, yeah.
No. Yeah. Peter, we got to figure out something for you. We gotta come up with a segment for you, Peter. Something.
Well, I know.
Well, MPD tomorrow. MPDs is gonna get released, but it's a little late for the.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll do it next week. We'll do it next Thursday. Yep. So we'll have that. So you gotta find something for you. Peter's Corner or something like that. Peter's Snow Runner tips.
Peter picked the MPD.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All right, so I want to. Hey, Dave, it was great having you on, man. Thank you so much for spending an evening with us. This really was. It really was great to have you. I'm glad I found that YouTube clip of you because you honestly are impressive. I'm still that German suplex still got me, man. I like that.
Oh, there's bigger and better ones than that. Go on YouTube and type in Dave Doll versus Tony Chini, Chini, and the German super kick combo I hit on him is even better.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm gonna go look because seriously, man, you really did impress me. So, but yeah, I want to definitely thank you for spending the evening with us, man. This was a lot of fun, and getting your life story and getting into a little bit of gaming. Listening to you talk about Tony Hawk and and of course wrestling games and whatnot. So it's great stuff. Great stuff. So
thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and we look forward to having you, back in the chat room. Back trolling away. So
good to meet you, and glad you joined the family. After Retromania, so I'm glad we found each other.
Dave, we're gonna have to hook up and still do that Streets of Rage. I'm a little heartbroken that you actually do have a real life partner already, though I kind of set myself up for heartbreak. I thought, man, I'll be Dave Doll's tag team partner. Oh no, he's already got a partner.
If you watch his match, I might not have a partner that much longer.
Oh, wow. All right.
If you watch his match in the same show, I'm out there with him, and I get kicked out of the match because I try to go in the ring with the steel chair, and I'm like, yeah, ref sees me. I set it up, sit down. I'm like, I just want to get a closer look. Like, I just want to see that. I go to hold up the chair again and argue with the ref. A fan reached underneath the ropes and grabbed the chair out of my hand.
What?
That's how much they hated me. Well, I stole the chair from a little kid, first off. So.
Little kids have everything today anyway. What's taking a chair? It just teaches them life lessons.
They hated me so much that they ripped the chair out of my hand. So I'm like, I almost started laughing because I was broken. And it was just funny. And moments like that are just like, that's wrestling or moments. Like, you're never going to remember a full match. You're just going to remember the silly or the fun or the awesome spots. Like that match with the skeleton that I got put through a door, no one's going to remember anything else besides a plastic skeleton put someone through a door.
Dave, let me ask you one last question real quick. Have you ever been injured? Like, have you, during your wrestling, has there been like an ongoing injury or something that flares up once in a while? Or has there been an incident where you've actually been injured at all?
Knock on wood. nothing major. My shoulder stings every once in a while.
Right.
Because especially like right now, I'm not using it as much as I would, and like if I don't go to training as much as I should, it'll start up. Other than that, luckily, I may have suffered a concussion or two that I don't know about.
Right.
But other than that, nothing really super major. Nothing that not from football or wrestling or track when I was a little kid. So
good deal.
Nice.
I've been good so far.
Awesome.
Nice.
Knocking on wood.
All right. Well, we're gonna start getting out of here. Again, Dave, thank you so much, and thank you for the giveaway. That was really nice. We are looking forward to Retromania Wrestling, even if you're, when you're DLC, we're the first ones in. Don't worry. So I'm waiting. Go ahead.
I did get beat out by two just released WWE guys, so I mean,
yeah.
Don't
were
worry.
just released. They were just released for a reason, Dave.
You're not in the game, and we don't have our T-shirts yet, so we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't get our. Mike has not sent us our T-shirts yet, so.
I got mine.
So, and hey, look, there's always I look forward to the tweet where you hold up the virtual basement contract. So.
That would be insane, especially with what they're doing right now, and with the tragic events that happened this week with Chad Gaspard.
Yes.
He actually signed on for that game, and I put out a tweet earlier today saying, like, I hope he can still be in to be honored, but as a fan, I 100% understand if not, and every fan should. And Virtual Basement kind of tweeted back or replied back. I guess I don't know if it was negative or just expanding on it, and I just put 100% because I agree with what they said 100%. But like what I was saying was like I was telling the fans if he is no longer allowed to be in the game, they need to be okay with that.
Right.
So I actually got to meet him in November, and he was one of the nicest dudes you could ever meet. I didn't get a picture with him, so I'm kind of upset about that, but I did take a group photo for him. But he's one of the nice ones, and what he did for his son, I mean, who he was.
That was just so heartbreaking.
Yeah. Sorry to put it.
It could come down to maybe later on that they get permission from the family. They work something out.
He's already signed, so it's kind of a gray area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I imagine maybe his family would be able to. I mean, legally, his family would probably make that call.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Virtual Basement can make the call themselves too, and like I'm sure those guys are going to be super cool. I mean, they've been super cool with me being the way I am, so we'll see what happens. But no, Virtual Basement game looks awesome. A lot of the guys that are in it are indie guys that I know and have so much respect for, which is why I don't go after it as much as I do Retromania, because like Retromania, everybody that's in that game already has their spotlight, where these guys are getting their spotlight for being in the game. So that's why I lay off of that one a little bit, only because I don't want to take anything away from everybody that worked so hard to get into it already. It's not my place. They didn't come to me. I'm going after them. I don't want to overstep it and then completely ruin the opportunity if there's an opportunity. If not, I'm still going to support it because I have friends and guys I look up to and respect it. So
that's the right attitude, and that's cool, man. So. All right. Well, thank you again, man, and we look forward to having you in the chat and being with us, and we really appreciate that you came aboard. You came in that night that we had Mike Herman on, and you've been in ever since, and that's awesome. I mean, and honestly, that really is awesome. You're one of us, and of course, like with every guest we have on, you have an open invite anytime you want to come on. Maybe when Retromania Wrestling launches, and we talk about it, maybe we get you in to do some maybe a little mini review from your angle.
Yeah. Face to face with me and Mike,
Yeah. Oh yeah. So, chat room, thank you guys so much. Hey, Jago, I got hashtag free Jago because that's just nonsense. I get it.
That.
There are worse people on just straight up. There are such worse people on Twitter that should be suspended for crap. Jago is one of the good guys, and to heck with that. So we got to take a trip to Twitter and bang on doors. So want to thank everybody who showed up. Hey, Starbuck, while you're in the hospital, we're praying for you. Thank you, and thank you for hanging out with us. Be good. Hope everything is okay, and hopefully you're out of the hospital soon. And everybody else, guys, thank you so much, Pete. Chances are, as long as you want me, I'll be back on Wednesday night with you for another Amico talk. Dreadpool, congratulations for winning copy Retromania, and Invader, TXR, Jago, and Infinite, and Crispy, and the Retro Renegades crew. Crispy gets around though, man. Crispy's part of like four or five shows, so I can't remember them all. But Pete says I'm permanent now. Hey, as long as you let me. And just thank you guys so much. And guys, man, great show once again. Thank you.
Yes.
So
Z Black Rider, Super Cooper.
Z Black,
Cooper works late.
I know.
Yeah, man, he's still at work right now.
It's awesome. I just love it. Nate, our brother Nate, who said to me yesterday, he loves listening to us again. Project Jeff, who I know he's been a little quiet because he was playing. Playing something.
GTA 5 online.
Yep. Jesse Darby, who actually's got some wrestling chops, so it was really cool to have him in and talking tonight. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. Back from the Dead, who was in really early. So if I missed you, Infinite, everybody who was in tonight, thank you guys so much. And we'll be back next Thursday for another live show. Next Thursday, we are going to have, I can't remember his name, Chris. What's his last name? I know his first name's Diego. It's
I can't remember his last name, but Diego from
Warp Core Studios.
That's Almazan or Amazon.
Almazan, yeah. Right. So, yep,
notes,
his.
John.
Yeah, thank you. Good job, John. John
saved us.
John, kick it in.
Yeah.
So,
I actually had a lot. Every week I get excited. I had all kinds of stuff. I've got things planned for future, whatever. So I've got stuff saved in the kitty.
Aqua Lungers launched on Switch today, and we had him on earlier, like last year. Check that game out; it's really cool. We're gonna have him back on next week because next week it's launching here. So Dave, you'll be happy to know. He asked to come on this week, and we're like, no, we got a guest already. We got Daredevil Dave Doll. Can you come on next week? And he said yes. So we did not bump you for a developer, just so you know.
You could have,
but we didn't.
Get left out of the game, so I would understand.
No, you know what? But you mean a lot to us as a fellow brother. So. But he'll be on next week. Diego will be on next week to talk about the launch of Aqua Lungers and how that's been going. And then we're at 198. So for our 200th show, I'm cooking up some stuff, and we're going to have a really special guest. I'll go ahead and say it now. Jay Williams, the man behind the graphics and everything you see. Just one of the guys that saved me from walking away from this, along with guys like Peter and John and Chris and Frankie. So he's going to come on for our 200th show because it's just important to have him on. Dreadpool's going to be on in June. We're lining up guests, man. This is what's happening. We're lining up guests. So, and we're hoping to have Tommy Tallarico back on soon, because he's got some more Amico news coming out that should have come out during E3. So I'm working on getting him back on whenever. Of course, he pops in whenever he wants. So, but maybe trying to pick him up for another full show. So anyway, I want to say thank you to you, my brothers. This is what I live for. And everybody have just a great, hopefully extended weekend. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you next week. So good night, everybody, and play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy, everybody.
Adios.